I'm Elias, and in my day job, I run a software agency. We build software for startups, so we get around the fintech world a lot and kind of have a lot to do with crowdfunding and peer-to-peer lending and so on, and obviously also with companies and startups doing things in crypto. So we know a lot about the regulatory side, and we know a lot about the tech, and this is our own project. So we've looked at Ethereum, and obviously one of the obvious uses could be using smart contracts, could be data-driven insurance. So we looked at the insurance market, and it's an old market. We have a lot of institutional players. There is very little innovation happening. There are a few smaller companies doing things, but generally, it's very institutional. It's very old, and a lot of the insurance companies and a lot of the policies and dealing with claims are operating at a massive overhead. You have a lot of people involved in every process, and one of the issues is that while we have cheap insurance available to us, that's not the case everywhere in the world, and it might be very difficult to get insurance for certain things. And also, we all are probably overpaying for insurance in a lot of areas. Now, we need to also rely on trusted parties who have an interest in driving our claims as low as possible. And then in the insurance, in the insurance area, there's also the data-driven subset, which is what we're looking at first, where we have public data sets which have an impact on local, on individuals or companies. So obviously one of the most obvious fields is crop insurance. So we have weather data, and we can infer about what is happening locally on a farm, for example, from this public data. Another is carbon trade, where we have public licenses, and that impacts the companies. So those are the things we're looking at first. Okay, thank you. So in P2P insurance generally, there are already a few players that are innovating. So we have the French insurance model, like in car insurance, where you get together with a bunch of people, everyone is paying premiums, and that is your coverage, and then you have a reinsurer in the back. And so one of the interesting things about P2P insurance in our mind is the collaborative risk management approach. So if I invest in your insurance, then I have an interest in making sure that you don't claim and that you don't have to claim. So I might be an expert in dealing with droughts or something like that, so I can help you make sure that your crops don't fail, or I can provide security or something like that. So there is an interesting case for collaborative insurance. Obviously, the risk in P2P insurance is that people who might invest in a crowd-funded insurance model may not have the tools to do the risk management, or may not understand the market, depending on the complexity of the policy. And then obviously there are the regulatory challenges if you actually want to bring this into a mainstream market, if you want to do Fiat. So our approach to this, we started recently. It's still early days. We have a very basic proof of concept contract, which is almost finished, which we're going to open source soon. The first step is going to be a proof of concept app, which lets everyone build policies based on data that we're going to initially bring into the blockchain, and then rely on other parties to bring data into the blockchain, and let people build policies based on their data. There are a few interesting cases. Obviously weather data, and then things like traders, and micro insurances. So that's going to be the proof of concept first step. Next thing is going to be a proper decentralized autonomous organization that builds the infrastructure layer, and then we want to eventually look at building a regulated broker that does the fiat conversion and uses the blockchain as an infrastructure layer. And obviously, since this would be a public DAO, other people could do the same. And so this is the open part of the project. So it's all open source, obviously, and it's going to be kind of a public and community-driven approach. So this could open up interesting markets all over the world. Who knows? It might be an interesting thing to do. And then we are looking at the regulated broker in the UK or in the EU, in Germany. Obviously, one of the challenges is to get regulators to appreciate smart contracts and understand the kind of proof of stake implications, that you don't have access to client money, etc., etc. And then obviously there is the issue of exchange, fiat exchange. How does that work? As I said, it's early days and it's like an exploratory project. This is how we think it's going to work out now, but it's definitely going to change. So if you're interested in working on either side of this, or if you're generally interested in getting in touch, this is us. This is BitSilk is the company. We are going to eventually have a website for this. Tweet us or shoot me an email, and always happy to talk. Thank you.